Hello everyone, it's Adedoyin Jaiyesimi here, and as always, I'm here to give you quick comms tips that you can apply in your work. Today, I'm going to talk about what you can do if you have a CEO or a senior leader that is so averse to the media. So I don't know how many of you have worked with senior leaders that just do not want to be interviewed. They don't want to be on TV. They don't want to be in a newspaper. They don't even want to be in any speaking engagements. Some maybe because they're introverted, they're shy, or some is they just have, reservations about the media. How do you go around it? Because we know the statistics, organizations where their senior leaders are engaging in the media, where their senior leaders, have a voice or have become like a spokesperson, there's more credibility, there's more connection with the target audience, and it's just good for business. So how do you get that CEO that's like, I don't want to be on the media platform, to get them to become open to the idea? Now, the starting point, and I would recommend that you watch my video on getting internal stakeholder buy-in, because it's really, really important. There's so many dimensions to that video, and this is a practical example of getting internal stakeholder buy-in, because it helps your work as a comms professional if you're able to plug your senior leaders or your CEO into certain platforms. But the starting point really is to understand what is this aversion about? Why? Because if you don't know why, you're not able to really map out how to get the person to do what you want them to do, or get them to see why it is important. So why are they averse to the media? It may be because of a past experience. They're senior leaders that they've done an interview, and maybe it's a print interview, for example, and then by the time it was published, the headline was out of context. Those of you in Nigeria, you know that there's a particular newspaper platform that, especially when they interview women, you hear, I roll on the floor for my husband every 4 a.m. in the morning, and the woman has said such important things in the interview. Not everybody likes that kind of thing, or they take their words out of context, or even if it's a video interview, maybe they share a snippet that really takes from the context in which they were talking about. But if there is a practical reason, that's like something that happened before, then you need to know about it. Some may just be, this person is just really shy. This person is just not comfortable yet in the public. So what that senior leader needs is media training. And then you begin to think, how do I get this person to warm up to the idea? So you need to first know, where are we starting from? Why do you have this aversion? Why don't you want to engage? The second step is to know, what is this senior leader passionate about, interested about, because you must tie in, or you should be able to tie your ask into what it is that resonates with them. And if you watched the video that I spoke about getting internal stakeholder buy-in, it's, look, nobody really cares about what you want. It's about what they want. And if you're able to communicate what you want in terms of what they want and what they want to achieve, then it's really easy. But easier said than done, I know. But know what it is that drives them, or they're interested in. So I'll give you a practical example. I had a senior leader, an executive, that was also this very I don't want to be out there, I don't want to be in the media, I don't really want to engage on social media. But I knew that this person had a passion for young people, to give back in terms of the knowledge and everything that the senior executive had. And so I said, what, how about we just bring a few young people together, little small private events, and then you're able to then share and all of that. And it was so fantastic, because the senior leader was comfortable, the young people were benefiting from it. But in that same event, what then happens is that the people that you've invited, because they have been impacted, they will share content about that event, or they will share things they've learned. You have content that you can put on like a blog, or like company blog, or the senior leaders LinkedIn page. But you're then able to show results that, look, we did this with 30 people. Do you know how much more we would achieve if we do X, Y, Z? Or you say we did this with 30 people. If we do this next one, or if we do this also helps us to build on the impact. Remember, tying it into what the person is interested in, or what really drives, or they are passionate about. So after that kind of event, you can then plug them into a youth-focused Insta Live. So a platform that is doing that's addressing young people. They're having an Insta Live. Plug your senior leader as a speaker, and then you just gradually gradually continue to build on that until they become comfortable with the idea of, just being able to share or talk about the company. For some, like I said, it's media training. It's like, look, I when I work with senior leaders, because I make sure that, I engage them and also engage in terms of getting to know them, they're able to open up certain things with me. So someone can say, look, I don't like when I'm ambushed. When I'm ambushed, XYZ happens. So we prepare a lot. That may be what your senior leader needs, just to be prepared. And in the case of a senior leader that maybe has had past experiences that have been really, really bad, you then need to do your homework to make sure you're not sending them to a journalist that will badger them, that you're not sending them to a journalist that will twist their words, or a media platform that is famous for twisting the words of their guests. And another thing is to train your senior leaders on how to answer certain questions. So when I'm doing media training for women, for example, and I said, look, they're going to ask you how you balance, work, school, family, life, whatever it is. I tell them the kind of answers to avoid. I tell them, rather than just focusing on yourself, think about, the policies, think about anchoring it on something broader, so they don't get a headline that doesn't reflect the content of what it is that you're saying. Don't give them fodder for their terrible headlines, so to speak. So that's another example. Another thing you can do is start internally. Sometimes it can just be, okay, let's do something internally that gets our CEO comfortable with just engaging, comfortable with talking. It can just be little things, but you must be able to do it in such a way that you are showing the result of even those little things and get them comfortable enough to go on the big platforms. Now, there's some senior leaders that if it is not CNN, if it is not Economist, if it's not Forbes, they're like, we're not interested. However, we do know that if this is an organization that has not built visibility or credibility over the years, those platforms, it's not impossible, but you gotta need to do your homework, right? And so you then begin to educate them that yes, this is the long-term plan. We are going to get there, but this gives us a body of work. This helps people to know you better. This helps you, you're able to position it and sell it in a way that interests that senior leader. So it's absolutely not impossible to get the buy-in of, a senior leader that's averse to the media, but a lot of patience is required. First of all, understand them, understand their temperament, understand why it is that they're saying, look, I don't want to be on this media platform. Was it a bad experience? Was it something? Sometimes it's like, they've heard from other CEOs that have had, bad experiences. What can you do to make sure they don't experience that? How can you make them comfortable? Media training. You can show them different. I think there was a particular executive. We were just watching videos like, oh look, this is very simple, very straightforward. This, and then if you're able to speak to the journalists and say these are the kind of questions to ask, I know that that's not a foolproof strategy, because you can arrange or agree with the journalists that this is what you should ask, and on the day they spring up funny questions, and that's why you should do your due diligence as well. But definitely make them comfortable, and I think the most important thing is help them to see the impact, help them to see how it benefits the organization and how it ties into what they are interested in, which is why you need to ask questions, which is why you need to know them. So if this executive is passionate about young people, is passionate about a particular topic, for example, maybe it's passionate about climate change, start with that. You might say, oh, our company, we don't really do anything about sustainability and climate change. That's okay. But that's what this executive is interested in. At least get them comfortable in that area, and then you can then begin to broaden the scope when you have the buy-in. That's really what diplomacy is all about. So I hope that you found these tips helpful, and if you do, please put a comment drop a comment in the comment section. And then, as always, if there's something that you would like me to teach on, or a question you would like me to answer, I love doing these videos because I can then share with a wider audience. Please let me know, and I'll be able to do a video. Finally, I have my latest course on issues management, which is now up on Seller. I am going to put the link in the description of this video. It's really all about how do you manage issues before they become a crisis. A lot of us were like, oh, we want to learn crisis management. We want to know the crisis response strategies. That's absolutely fantastic. But I have discovered that a lot of the crisis that occurs is because issues were not managed properly. So in that course, you will learn how to properly manage issues to prevent them from becoming a crisis. Thank you for watching. Bye.